science-based psychology and different approaches towards mental health challenges or problems you might be experiencing in your work or daily life. And we are sharing some information that might help you to cope better with any challenges, stress, anxiety. And today we will be discussing about teacher stress, burnout, and what causes burnout and what you can do if you want to support yourself better. And I will be sharing some solution-focused brief therapy questions and strategies you can apply for yourself if you want to be less impacted by stress and be successful and thrive despite the challenges you are experiencing. And also some strategies from acceptance and commitment therapy that might help you. And according to statistics, teachers report some of the highest burnout rates of any profession, and about 70% of teachers report job-related stress and major problem. And they also have emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduced sense of accomplishment. And according to Maslach's burnout trial, they are one of most vulnerable and most affected population among other professionals. And why teaching is so demanding? It's because of emotional labor. You are investing your energy, your emotions, and you need to also manage your own emotions while supporting others. And it's quite demanding because uh, emotional support is very important for students and uh, teachers who are really good at their jobs, even though it seems that they shouldn't be feel burnout or exhausted. Actually, what's happening is the opposite. When a person cares more deeply, when they care about their students, they also feel the feelings stronger. So they think about students more, and they are working more and making more efforts. And actually, this places them in a place where they might be more vulnerable toward exhaustion, burnout, and therefore it's important to know certain strategies and to be able to apply these strategies to support themselves better. Therefore, it's important to increase awareness of teachers of possible burnout and other challenges they might have so that they can recognize the signs early and be able to support themselves. So constant evaluation by students, parents, administration, society is another source of stress for teachers because they are constantly being reviewed, followed, and their work is being evaluated, and this can create a source of stress. Therefore, it's important to find certain times to rest, take rest, and to refresh and to decrease the stress levels, because if a person constantly being evaluated, constantly is living under stress, this can also cause exhaustion. And high personal investment, teachers who care most often suffer most. And caring paradox, the very qualities that make the teachers successful are actually the ones that make them more vulnerable towards burnout, because uh, people who can better understand their teachers, uh, teachers who can better understand their students and people around them are the ones who can better feel others' feelings, and they are more sensitive towards others' needs, and this makes them actually at a higher risk of experiencing burnout and challenges. So, what can we do about it? Uh, Sometimes maybe you would notice that you might feel tired and as if you don't care about your work anymore, or as if your work doesn't matter, and these are early signs of burnout. Therefore, finding activities that you enjoy, finding environments or any other hobbies that make you feel relaxed, feel relieved, maybe connections, maybe different sports that make you feel rested are one of the first steps that can help you to feel rested. And also noticing your thoughts that you have about your work. For instance, if you feel as if you are burnout, exhausted, what exactly is causing this exhaustion? Notice your thoughts that you have about your work. and maybe you are trying to control all the variables that it is not possible to control. Maybe you think, maybe you are placing too much responsibility on yourself and that not noticing that this is not like you cannot control everything that surrounds you, all the circumstances. And noticing this, stepping back, noticing your thoughts, your feelings, understanding yourself, asking yourself what you need are the first steps toward decreasing burnout or avoiding burnout. And also regularly reviewing your why you are doing this work, why you became a teacher, and what kind of teacher do you want to be, which qualities you would like to see in yourself more often, and what are some reasons that you are pursuing this job regardless of results, regardless of recognition, if others are celebrating your progress or if your work is being valued. What's there behind you? Like what is your why you are doing this job? So reviewing this reviewing this can help you to feel less stressed, because if you are more focusing on external evaluation or other people's thoughts about you, or you are waiting for others to applaud you, sometimes this can be causing more expectations from others, and this is not always possible. Maybe sometimes people will not notice your efforts, and this might cause you feel more tired, exhausted, and disappointed, upset. But when you act from your values, regardless of results, regardless of recognition, when you remind yourself about your why, then even if you are not receiving acceptance of others and recognition, this will not hurt you as much as when you think about your why. And also applying self-compassion. Teachers often show extraordinary compassion to students and not to themselves. They forget about themselves. And ACT teaches you deserve the same kindness you offer to others. It's not self-indulgence. It's necessary for sustained teaching. And oftentimes we have different thoughts about self-compassion. Maybe we think that if we will care about ourselves, or if we will try to do things that matter for us, it can be accepted as egoistic or egocentric, or that you are selfish. But actually, when you look from long run, actually when you are being able to take care of yourself, you can support others better. You can contribute more, and when you are feeling happy, when you are feeling calm, you are actually uh, can contribute more. Your energy will be also reflected on your relationships, on other people, and this would create overall better environment, better contribution, and you can be more successful in your job and can feel happier. And also noticing some moments. For instance, imagine what was different during times when you still had stress, when there were a lot of challenges, barriers, but this stress wasn't exhausting you so much. What was different during those moments? What was there about you that helped made this possible? Which qualities were you using during those times? What did you notice about yourself? And which environments, which people, which activities were helping you to feel less stressed, even when there was stress, or stress was not impacting you so much? And what difference did it make for others when you could stay resilient, or you could stay calm, energetic, and you were happy when there was stress, but you were able to respond to it differently? Therefore, noticing these moments are important so that you can use the same qualities, the same structure and habits, environments again. And imagine if your stress has already decreased for a while. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for speaking about exceptional moments. What helped you to cope in the past when there was a lot of stress, but you were able to succeed, you were able uh, to move forward and to stay calm, to stay resilient, to stay energetic despite the stress. What was different? And actually, there, when I'm noticing people are coming into sessions and they are constantly focusing on what they don't want to experience. They are saying, "I don't want to feel burnout. I don't want to feel exhausted. I don't want to feel stressed." But they forget to focus on what they would like to experience instead. For instance, if you were not feeling burnout, what you would like to feel instead. Would you like to be more calm? Would you like to be more energized? Or maybe like what are some challenges you are experiencing right now? Maybe sometimes you are being rude and then you feel guilty about it, you feel bad about yourself, or maybe you cannot be as energized as before. So what's exactly there you would like to experience more often if burnout started to decrease or burnout was not there anymore? So even if we are working with burnout, everyone's goals, everyone's hopes are different. Some people want to be more energized, some people want to stay calmer, some people want to be energetic, some want to be happy. So it's important to set your goal first of all. And then imagine if this already started to happen. Imagine if you already started to feel kinder, more positive, or happier, or energetic. What would be different? What would be the first signs? What would be the first signs for you to notice uh, that you started to experience more often? For instance, if you want to be more energetic, in which areas of your life would you like to be more energetic? What you would like to do more? And what difference would it make for other people? And if, for instance, you were happier, what would be the first signs for you in the morning when you just wake up? How would you know that you are happy, or what would other people in your work, in your school notice when you are being happier? And what would this mean for them, and what would this mean for you? And if you were able to be happier for a longer period of time, and if others experienced a happy version of you more often, what difference would that make for them, and what change can it create for others? So in therapy, in psychotherapy, we're asking this kind of questions to help the person to understand what they need, and how they can achieve this outcome. And we are already helping them to answer to the questions what might help them to achieve these goals. And according to Hostel's emotional labor, surface acting, suppressing real feelings, versus deep acting, genuinely shifting emotional state, is like he used to compare these two states. And when people are able to understand their emotions, to express their emotions, they are less impacted by stress. However, when they are suppressing their emotions, or they don't want to feel their emotions, they don't want to understand, these feelings start to disturb them and hold them back. And whenever you are trying to suppress or delete your emotions, it's not realistic and it's not being useful for us. Therefore, for instance, noticing moments when you feel exhausted, or when you feel sad, or stressed, try to notice which feeling is there, and try to open space for this feeling, and try to understand what this feeling is telling you. For instance, if you feel sad, what's the reason for you feeling sad? In which area does it show more often? And oftentimes, things that we care about deeply are actually creating sadness. And if you are feeling sad, for instance, because you cannot succeed, you cannot do as much in your studies, this means that you care about your studies a lot. Or if you are feeling sad about your students, this means that you care about your students. So oftentimes, understanding yourself is the point where the relief comes, and you become less stressed, and you can open space for something else. Because and also noticing your perspective. What are some lenses you are trying to look from? Is it the lens of sadness or anger, or like noticing your thoughts and understanding your perspective is important, because once you are able to notice and increase your self-awareness, you can try to look from different perspectives, from the lens of kindness, compassion, contribution, and other perspectives, and noticing also that other people are also carrying their pain and their challenges with them, and you are not alone, and remembering about other people's, and that we all have common traits, we all have feelings, and feeling sad, feeling disappointed, upset, or exhausted is the common way of being human. And when you notice all other people also who are carrying their suffering, their pain, their challenges, sometimes this becomes the point that is relieving and less stressful. And teachers perform extraordinary emotional labor with minimal institutional support, and oftentimes their efforts are not being paid, or they cannot receive enough recognition. And since they care more deeply, than they can be also depleted. Therefore, noticing these factors also, and seeing that how people are suffering, seeing their pain, their source of stress, and reflecting them back can be another source of relief and in decreasing stress. So whenever you are seeing others' efforts are not being evaluated or not being recognized, reflecting them back is one of the reasons of decreasing stress. And psychological detachment from work during non-work hours is the strongest predictor of teacher well-being, as we have discussed in previous sessions also. When you stop working, for instance, on your computer, shutting down, closing computers or all applications, sometimes placing your phone on a silent mode, are some strategies you can use in order to help your brain to notice that work has finished, and right now uh, you are switching into a rest mode, and this can help you to relax better and to switch off from the work. So also there are some tools that I'm going to share that you can use to decrease your stress and burnout levels. First of them, teaching value statement. You can ask yourself or write down uh, and remind yourself why you are teaching. I'm teaching because I want to be this version of you. I want to be this kind of person. And what matters most to you in your teaching? And returning to this when stress peaks, and maybe opening your writings or journaling and reminding yourself. And ground action in values, not fear. So oftentimes I notice that people are getting stressed because they act from the place of fear, and from the place what might go wrong. And when you start to act from the place of love, contribution, kindness, or change your perspective and ask yourself, if I wasn't feeling scared or anxious or stressed, what I would like to feel instead. And taking your steps in accordance with your values, with what matter, is another strategy you can apply to feel less stressed if you are feeling burnout. And reminding yourself about exceptions. For instance, when you were feeling less scared, less anxious, less stressed, even if there was stress, what was different about you? What conditions made it possible? What were you doing? How can you deliberately create more of those conditions for you? For instance, some people are noticing that they can be less stressed when they can be physically active. Maybe they are going for a walk, uh, maybe they are going for workout, or maybe they are traveling, or maybe they are using their hobbies. Like finding some sources happiness for yourself is another strategy you can use if you want to feel less stressed. And shutdown ritual, consistent end of working routine that signals psychological completion, makes you feel relieved. Reviewing and close planning tomorrow, saying a specific phrase. Sometimes research says that whenever you are reviewing how your day went, and there are, of course, there are certain things that we cannot do, or we didn't have chance to complete, and reviewing those goals and maybe writing down them as a plan for tomorrow, this creates less stress and psychological detachment that protects even in recovery. And compassion balance. Every time you extend compassion to a student, remind yourself that you can do the similar things for yourself, extending 1 unit of the same compassion to yourself. Noticing when you have performed well, when you have completed a difficult work, maybe at the end of the day, reminding yourself what went well, what are you feeling proud of yourself, and what is your success, today's success, and reminding yourself about previous success that you had in the past are some strategies you can apply for yourself to decrease stress levels and to feel more relieved. So you cannot pour from an empty vessel. Your well-being is not separate from your effectiveness as a teacher. It's a foundation. If you found this session useful, don't forget to share it with the other people uh, who would like, who might benefit from it. And if you have any questions, you're always welcome to leave your questions in the comments. Take good care of yourself and see you in the next videos again.